revealing that we are going on to our show. So hello and welcome back to part 2 of episode 7 of Film Focus, our weekly independent movie review show where we're talking about very random things before the episode started.
And trailers.
Well, we were talking about some interesting things before we started filming.
I can actually imagine them making that into a film.
Yeah, that'd be a very. We'll get. I think we'll get onto that when we mention the trailer. Yeah. But yes, we start with our. Oh yeah. I'm Fred Black.
I'm Anthony Squire.
Yeah, and we start this week's roster of films with One Day, a little romantic
flick.
Yes.
Basically, college graduation. You know, teenage girl, teenage boy spend the night together, and then each scene is not each individual scene, but it's like year by year onwards from then.
So they meet on the 15th of July, of a particular year, and then we pick up their lives on the 15th of July for the next 20 years or something like that, isn't it? 22 years or something like that. Just to see what's going on in their lives, and obviously they keep going backwards and forwards between each other, having girlfriends and wives and boyfriends.
Obviously, they're destined to be together.
Of course they are. It's I don't know. I really struggled for things to say about this film when I was doing my notes for it, because it was just kind of so blunt and dull.
It had some good humour in there. It moved at a generally good pace. It moved at a generally good pace until about an hour and 6 minutes.
Here we go. Oh,
I'm just making that up.
I don't think you are, though.
It was good. It was building up. They get together, and then it just dragged on and on and on.
And yeah, it took its. I mean, it was close to a 2-hour film, wasn't it? It was only 1 hour and 50. So they could have added a lot more stuff in there to make it I mean, it's based on a best-selling book, and I've read other reviews of it that say that the book is far more complex and has lots more going on in it.
Books usually do, though.
But then why didn't they have all that stuff going on in the film? Because it sounds as if they've missed out tons of little events that just happen. But it would have given us something to be interested in during the film.
Yeah, it would have kept me interested.
I mean, although sometimes... I mean, there is one year that they do. They do, the 15th of July 2000. Nothing happens. Essentially, you just see Anne Hathaway going for a swim and Jim Sturgis doing his regular job. And then it goes 15th of July 2001. I was like, that was a fucking pointless scene. You could have had something happen in there. And I'm sure, in the book, there is probably something that happens. But there is...
Like I said, it had good potential. The pace was good up to a certain point, but it just dragged on. I was not impressed.
This is how little I had to say about this film. It looks good. There's all the cities they film and everything. It all looks good. There's detail. The buildings and all the colours and everything look very good.
It didn't save it though.
I know it didn't save it. Yeah, and that's obviously when I have to say a film looks good, either it's because it's meant to look good, like a Zack Snyder film like Watchmen or 300, like the ones that are deliberately set up to be stylish and visually you look at them and you just go wow. Or it's because
background. Too much emphasis on the background to set the mood.
Yeah, and it's you get all these dramatic shots of buildings and flowers and all this stuff. Okay, I want to see more of the actors. And it's I get the romantic aspect of it, and I get how people could be crying their eyes out in cinemas about it, but it just didn't hit me as much as it should have done. It didn't affect me as much as it should have done. And you know the bit I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know the bit, and if you've seen the film, you know the bit that everyone's going to remember this film for just one specific bit, and it makes me jump. It made me jump when I saw it, even though I knew it was going to happen. But it didn't affect me as near as much as it should have done.
It didn't because
okay,
then everyone move on. Gets on with each other when you think, wait a minute, they wouldn't have gotten on with each other, but.
Well, I suppose it's conveniently
nice.
It conveniently cuts out the the bit in between years where all that stuff would have got sorted out. So you only have to deal with one specific day of a year. Yeah. So you have 364 other days that you don't see on film, and you don't get in the book either. So all the other, like, you know, stuff that happens, and, you know, the parts where they move on with their lives and they do all this sort of stuff, you don't get to see that. So it kind of cuts out a little bit of emotional attachment to characters, and you're just like, oh, what have they done since that last time we saw them?
I mean, Jim Sturgis, he was good as Dexter.
Oh,
where he gets his own TV show. And
he becomes some sort of sleazy...
I mean, catchphrase from the newspaper is the most hated man on TV.
Yeah, he's very good. And the contrast of characters between him and Anne Hathaway are very good. But there's just not enough substance in the film. The script doesn't just justify the characters enough, and it's just one of those, you watch it and you think, why is it still going on? It could have ended there, flat,
there, or there. And it just, by the time it does get to the end, you just think, thank God.
Oh, the end credits are, eject. Just get rid of this film and send it back immediately. But of course, this is like, it's with Valentine's Day just have gone. Yeah. This is like touted as the film for Valentine's Day. Like literally, a sticker on the box was like the film to watch on Valentine's. I was like,
to be honest, if I was going to say a film for Valentine's Day,
you're gonna cite some really random B movie here, aren't you?
No, I was actually going to say, was it Friends with Benefits, which we reviewed a few weeks ago? I'd have put that as a genuine, proper Valentine's Day film, because it didn't rely on...
It was feel good as well, actually, yeah.
It knew when to stop. Everything was balanced out well in it, the comedy, the emotion, and it was just a genuinely good film.
And even Crazy Stupid Love, the one last week, even that was actually quite a affectionate and light-hearted romantic comedy that, you know, if you were going to watch any romantic film for Valentine's Day, those two are they're a lot better than this.
This one, I almost feel like the director lost interest, or he wanted to make it as long as he could for no real reason at all. I'm just repeating myself now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's one of those films, like we said, I don't have much to say on it, because it was just it just kind of just went past me by and didn't really have any impact on me. So, I mean, I gave it a 4 out of 10.
I gave it a 3.
We're not too impressed with that then.
I wasn't impressed.
Damn you people. You make these bad films and we watch them.
How dare you, lone chef? Is it Sherfig?
I don't know. I didn't make a note of the director's name. I only know the actors and that's it. But
putting that to one side,
it could it just really bugs me that it could have been a lot better. It could have been a lot better and a lot more romantic and a lot more kind of emotionally affecting.
And it wouldn't have taken that much effort to have done it.
No, to have done it. But instead, they focus more on the city and everything around them rather than, you know, the characters themselves. And in my view, that's what they did.
Yeah, you're right, actually. I can just imagine the meetings they had while they were shooting or just before. What about this scene and this scene? You know, what should they say? No, it's not what they should be saying. The building in the background.
We get it in there. Don't focus on the characters while they're talking. Focus on a shot of Edinburgh's skyline. Like, why would you do that? It doesn't makes it look a little bit more artistic. Yes, but
so guys, it's a beautiful emotional scene you're having there.
So we're going.
Look at that there.
Look at that pigeon on a balcony. It's just like it's something completely irrelevant to the film, but you know. But yeah, one day, forget about it.
But on the plus side, it brings us onto the trailers.
Oh yes, we move on to our trailers, starting off with a very, very silly film called Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. Yes! Not much footage of Abraham Lincoln in the actual trailer we saw.
No.
I don't actually know what the character looks like. I mean, he looks like Abraham Lincoln, obviously, but how much alike he looks.
I've just got this image in my head of, you know, doing all his president duties and like, I'm feeling tired, I'm going to go to sleep now. And then walk through a door, push a button, and the weapons will come down.
I'm going to go to sleep now, and there's like vampires just standing there going, no! You have to fight me! Oh, go on then. Of course in an American accent, obviously. But
I mean, for this kind of trailer, you had the obvious dramatic background music and the OTT, you can't do that. I'm the only one who can. And just like...
Yeah, it tried to make itself a little bit more dramatic than I think it needed to be. It's got Dominic Cooper in it as well, who we saw in The Devil's Double, right back in our first episode, which seems like a light year away, if I'm just bringing that up.
Yeah.
It does. But it's got him in it, it's got some other people. I mean, the guy who plays Abraham Lincoln is relatively unknown, as far as I'm aware.
I'm looking forward to that, though. The unknown actors
they
often give better performances.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you could put Tom Cruise as Abraham Lincoln and expect it to work, could you?
Yeah, I couldn't really imagine Tom Cruise doing that.
No, but you'd love to see it, though. There's a little part of your brain that just goes, Tom Cruise as Abraham Lincoln? Yeah, that's all good. That's very fun. That sounds like fun.
And this brings us on to the next trailer.
No, not really. The next trailer is something incredibly different. But yeah, Abraham Lincoln, big thumbs up. I want to see this.
I want to see it when it comes out.
The next film, not so much. It's called Darling Companion.
A family find a dog. That obviously the dad disagrees with it. The dog runs off, and it's about the family coming together. It looked to me like a new version of Beethoven,
which I haven't seen, and it's one of those films that I've always seen like on DVD shows. Like, yes, it looks to be a film about a dog.
It's a good film. Really Beethoven 1 and 2 were good. Ignore the other sequels. But
have you seen all of them? Yes. I didn't even have to ask, did I?
Forgive me, comrade, but yes, I have.
You have seen all of the other sequels.
But these other sequels, where they get completely different actors and actresses in.
Yeah. What, to play the same characters, or just to play
the same characters?
Bad move. Always a bad move. But yeah, Darling Companion. I mean, it's got Kevin Kline in it. It's got loads of other kind of vaguely Academy Award winners. The list of Academy Award winners that are in this one film is quite astonishing, really. I mean, I can't remember any of the names. I probably should have written them down, but Jesus, there are a lot of them.
I mean, it looks like a genuine feel-good sort of family film. I'd like to see it when it comes out.
I'm not too fussed about it. To be honest, the search for a dog and bringing a family together because of a search for a dog, it just seems like a bit, it doesn't really draw me into that side of thing.
I'll put you on the 6. When I was growing up with my parents, we used to have a Labrador.
Now, I was going to say, if you've had dogs before, then that might make it a little bit more... I've never had dogs. We've always been a cat family, me and my family, so it's never changed. Apart, no dogs. No dogs. Only cats. But yeah, so...
Emotional moments.
Yeah, no cats! No cats and dogs. And that brings us... Our next trailer is the one I'm most excited about for this week, actually. Doonby. Yeah.
The catchphrase was beautiful. But a story worth telling, a life worth living.
And that really doesn't sum up what the film is about.
No, it doesn't at all.
It doesn't. It's completely irrelevant to the film. It's essentially this stranger who kind of gets work in the town, in a random small town, and starts kind of being a vigilante, essentially.
Yeah.
Except without dressing up. He starts just doing good deeds, he prevents a bank robbery and he prevents a child getting run over by a truck. There's 2 things you see in the trailer. And then apparently everyone seems to have a problem with him. But
oh yeah, that classic line. Things were good in our town before you came along.
Yeah, which is a direct quote from the trailer. I'm struggling to see what their problem is with him, but simply because it all kind of ramped up to some sort of hidden past kind of thing. I always get a little bit of a sucker for hidden past stories. So
I've got this image in my head of, if it was a chick flick, it would be, you ruined prom for me.
Which is something I forgot to mention about Footloose again. Last episode we did Footloose. The whole prom thing can't be bothered.
Oh come on, you can take it seriously.
Oh no, you can't take it seriously. It's a film that tries to take itself seriously. But anyway, sidetracking.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm trying not to get myself sidetracked with this one. It's just too hard when you've got films like Footloose involved, the fucking thing.
You're strong, you'll get over it.
Yeah, I will. But Doonby actually looked really good. I'm very interested to see
I'd like to watch this one. I mean, the leading character is John Schneider.
John's not, was it? Oh.
Yeah, John Schneider.
I didn't notice that at all. I must have missed that out completely.
You know, he played a Jonathan Kent in Smallville.
That's why I missed it out. Because I've seen a few episodes of Smallville, but
what's that?
Even though I am a Superman fan, Smallville just didn't really attract me at all. It just...
Season 6 was the best, so I'm getting sidetracked now.
You're getting sidetracked.
But this brings us on to the next trailer.
Very, very short trailer we saw for 2 days... Is it 2? Yeah, 2 days in New York. Which is a kind of sequel to... Was it 2 Nights in Paris? It was something like that. Yeah. Which I haven't seen. But this looked very, very funny. This looked very interesting. And
I liked it. It was a very short trailer, bit of humour thrown in, and then it just ends, so naturally I'm curious to watch it.
It seems to play... and it's got Chris Rock in it as well. The only guy I recognise in it. Chris Rock is very kind of... But he's a bit more downbeat than he usually is. I mean, Chris Rock's a very loud guy. Have you seen his stand-up? Have you seen any of his stand-up? He's very loud, very kind of out there in his acting and his stand-up. And he seems to play a bit more reserved. That seems to fit him quite well. I mean, but just the general conversation they were having, it was very funny. And it looks like it could be a sleeper hit. Something that just slips under the radar. No one notices that much, but, you know, you'll get
surpasses the other ones.
Yeah, you'll get rave reviews from everybody.
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good trailer. It was just, you know, short and straight to the point.
Yeah, exactly. And the last one is not much more you can say about such a short trailer. The last film we got is Marley.
Documentary about Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, yes, yeah. The King of Reggae. Hey. Which I don't have a lot of his music, but you know, you hear a bit of Bob Marley, you're not going to turn it off.
No.
And it's a documentary from the people who knew him best.
Yeah.
So his close family, close friends, close people who went on tour with him. And it looks very interesting. I'm a sucker for documentaries that have like this sort of...
I'd like to watch it when it comes out. Yeah, it just looks like a good documentary.
So apart from the first trailer, you have no opinions about anything. You're just like, yeah, they're all passable for me, really.
Yeah, you know.
And Abraham Lincoln, way!
Abraham Lincoln, it was just over the top.
Yeah.
You know,
Marley, not so much.
The other trailers, they're good, but nothing really stands out. They'll still be enjoyable, the films, I'm sure, but nothing really stands out.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they will be, but well, we hope they will be. Apart from Darling Companion, that can just... But I was just...
No, Darling Companion, come on.
The interesting thing about Marley, though, was it has lots of tour footage, like unseen tour footage and unseen, like, you know, just like back...
Is it really unseen?
Apparently so. I mean, I don't see why they would claim it was if it wasn't... Yeah, it's on the trailer, therefore it must be true, kind of thing.
It wasn't seen from this camera.
Yeah, the camera, like, next to the guy who was filming the official video or something. But yeah, it apparently has lots of unseen tour footage and everything like that, behind the scenes footage and all that sort of stuff. So I'm interested to see actually know more about Bob Marley, because I don't know a lot about the guy. Obviously he's dead now, so you obviously don't know a lot about him.
Well, no, he's
a bit dead. But yes, anyway, that's our trailers for this week.
And this brings us on to the last film.
Yeah, which you're obviously excited about.
It's Shark Night.
Yeah.
Come on.
To be honest, I'm gearing myself up for slamming this film, but I did enjoy this.
David Ellis, come on, Snakes on a Plane, Final Destination.
Did he do Snakes on a Plane? David Ellis.
Yes.
Did it? I never realised this. I'm sure you've probably told this. It's probably just gone whoop out the other ear. But yeah, David R. Ellis, the Final Destination films, like 2 and 4, which are really good films.
4 was good, but number 2, I've said it before about the ending, but it was... Number 2 was just OTT, Snakes on a Plane, for everything good that happens on that plane, something bad happens immediately afterwards. And it was beautiful. Shark
Night is your ultimate teen disaster movie, essentially. Group of really horny teenagers go to an island, like a kind of lake resort, owned by one of the hot girls there, and two two guys release sharks into the lake.
Yeah, they're not even doing tests on them. They're just observing them.
No, yeah, they're making a TV show. That's the twist, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're making a TV show like world's best predators, but essentially making a snuff version of it. Isn't it? Yeah. And yeah, essentially all the plucky teenagers who are desperate to get laid with one another get picked off one by one.
No, it's not. There's this guy. He's the first one to get attacked, and it's like, oh my god, he's going to die in a few minutes.
Oh yeah,
he keeps surviving throughout the film.
It's almost as if they knew. He is the only black guy there. It sounds a bit kind of racist to say, but he's the only black guy there, and it's almost as if the writers and directors knew the black guy does not die first. He will not die first. And he survives for like half the film with one arm, doesn't he? But this film is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you go into this, you leave your brain at the door.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's what you'd expect from David Yates, OTT. I mean, there are some scenes which reminded me of Shark Attack 3.
And you're a big fan of your B movies, which I've never seen this Shark Attack 3.
There's one scene in Shark Night, the guy on a jet ski, he's skiing away, racing away,
and
the shark eats him, but
it leaves a good pause before it does, doesn't it? Because he's lost his friend off the back of the jet ski, and he goes on regardless. He goes, I've got to get help. And then it's really silent, and it's just him, and it's like, shot of the open water, shot of the jet ski, shot of the open water, shot of the jet ski, shot of the open water, shark! You're like, oh, that's quite good.
There's this brilliant scene in Shark Attack 3, where this guy is racing, getting away on his jet ski, and he turns to the camera going,
yeah, it's like, I'm good, I'm all good.
And then the camera shot goes in front of him, and you see him going, ah! And the shark eats him in the jet ski in one mouthful.
What? Oh no.
And there's another brilliant scene in Shark Attack 3 where you got a life raft with 12 people on it, and the shark just eats them all in one mouthful.
Nom.
Putting that to one side, this film was good. It wasn't as good as Snakes on a Plane or Final Destination 2, but it was still a very good film.
No, but David R. Ellis, this director, is now becoming one of these guys that if he attaches his name to a film, I'm kind of predispositioned to like it. I have this thing that I will probably like it because it's going to be a very stupid, very over-the-top film.
Well, I mean, that's what I thought when I watched Cellular.
Was that him as well?
That was also him, but that wasn't... It was good, but
it wasn't... that was all before Final Destination, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, he obviously learned from his mistakes.
I just think with this one, he could have gone that a little bit further, but it was still a very good film. I still enjoyed it.
Well, also, did you not notice the obvious 3D as well?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was originally released in 3D, Shark Night 3D. I'm surprised it got such a big cinematic release for such a B-list cast. It does have...
It's the kind of film that will draw people in, though. Because it's low budget. It's not one of these massive Hollywood... You must see films. It's just some guy shot film in 3D.
Yeah, but to be honest, I'm really surprised because it did have such a B movie feel to it. And I've not obviously seen as many B movies as you have, but you've lent me quite a few, and I've seen them.
Yeah.
The best being like Mega Python versus Gatoroid, and that is just ridiculously stupid in the extreme.
I've still got Killer Clowns from Outer Space to get through. But
you actually bought that as well.
Yeah.
You physically went out and bought it.
It only cost like £3.
I'm not surprised. I'm surprised it even cost £3. But yeah, and I've seen all these I've seen some of these B movies, but Shark Night had this definite feel of
Shark Night.
We don't give a shit. The CGI is shit. The acting is shit. It's all just really bad, but we'll have fun with it.
I love this sort
anyway.
of films. They just don't care. Take it to an extreme, but hey, who cares?
No, exactly.
I mean, this film, I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I gave it a 6. I'm 1 point behind you there, but yeah, 6 seems to... I mean, it wasn't as good as Three Musketeers, I think. In terms of just general entertainment, I thought I enjoyed Three Musketeers more this week.
No, this was better than Three Musketeers.
Oh.
I mean... You should have copied Bowser's spaceship.
I would just love to see in Three Musketeers Bowser just pop up at one point and like, hello!
When I was watching Three Musketeers, I kept expecting Bowser to suddenly go...
Yeah, just like...
I want these airships back.
And Mario will just throw a hammer at him or something. It's like, no!
It's much like Bowser doing that, and then I want these airships back.
Yeah, the lease runs out in 2 days. Just warning ya. Oh no!
Don't make me angry.
Oh dear, yeah, but Shark Knight. Mega Bowser. We're just going on a nerd rage here.
Sorry, forgive us.
That's all good. But yeah, Shark Knight, definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'd advise getting this one out.
You get a few of these in, get a few drinks in, and get a few mates around, and you'll have a laugh with it, definitely.
I think this brings us to the end of the episode.
I think it does, but yeah, it's just so good. The films we've had this week have actually been quite good.
Well, in comparison to last week with the Human Centipede too.
Oh yes, that gem.
He chose that.
Shut up! All right. I did choose it. Yes, that's technically true, but
the Stone Cold Silence. Forgive us, comrades.
But you still watched it all the way through. Yeah. Not that you wanted to. After about 15 minutes, you were just like, no.
Yeah,
it was horrible.
That was horrible. Anyway, don't drag this episode down. Forget about Human Centipede 2.
And we'll finish it there. We'll finish you, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, take care,
for
guys.
more films. Yeah, see you later, guys. Have
Bye.
a good one. Bye.